This is Cresso, and I'm here for part 10 of the Human Journal. In this journal, I'm going to talk about competition. Some of my journals, I did talk about competition a little bit, but something came across my mind early on, and wanted to express my feelings comes to competition, and just the whole thing itself, this idea of competition, how it impacts us in many ways of our lives. For a long time, I used to label myself as very competitive, and I was very proud of it too. I just love the idea of competition, competing, and I didn't really quite get it, what the idea really does so much, but I used to get so emotional and stuff like that, competition. Some games I love, just enjoy playing, and just get so frustrated when I lose. Get so emotional just to win and all that, and it feels great when you win, and it's just the feeling. This whole thing of itself is such an experience, and man, I played all kinds of games. Wow, all kinds, between sports, board games, video games. They all come with the same ingredient, obviously, win or lose. That's the thing. You get angry and sad and frustrated no matter what type of game you play. And I just, some things when I really actually, I'm just thinking here, just in this journal clip, I'm going to really tell you more about my feelings, and I just want to make it clear to out of all my journal clips so far I've created, based on, a lot of my journal clips is based on my observation of people, just people's behavior, and myself. And that's why I call it the Human Journal. I know the name might sound a little odd, the title, but honestly, I don't care. So, this is, I'm just going to basically express these things, how competition, what it does, and how the whole thing is just very small. If you're at a certain point spiritually, the idea of competing against somebody to claim that you're better or dominant, it's just, for the intellect mind, it seems good, feels good for the moment. Even, let's just say, if you're competing for that job, for example, or you're competing for that relationship, competition has it's a big impact on in different levels within humanity. And it's just, it's an energy, it's all, consciousness, everything, consciousness created it, it's all, but even though, like I always tell you, all these things are suggested ideas, and I want to start off how I felt early, what really got me to do this 10th part. They advertised this event, this mixed martial art event, right? This female fighter. I'm not going to mention names. So they advertised it. I've seen her in movies and stuff like that. But anyway, I was online early, and since I was aware of it, I caught a glimpse of the results online, and then it talked about that she defeated her opponent in 34 seconds. I'm like, wow, that's just And I'm going to express this, how I feel inside. Just the idea, an example of what competition, what it does. You know, everybody's different. Everyone takes competition somewhat different, but through and through, we all basically endure the same feelings, one form or another. We all do. For those that observe this idea of competition. And I said, you know, when I read about it briefly, I had to read about it quickly. I ran across it. I was aware of it. And I felt bad for the person because I was saying to myself when I read it, I felt angry. I'm like, how can you allow someone to beat you? And then they talk about 34 seconds. You know, my thing is, there's some stuff I'm going to share, and I'm going to sound, you know, in this journal, I'm going to sound a little bit more passionate. So it might sound like I'm angry, but no, I'm just inviting you my feeling state when it comes to competition, especially on particular things. So I felt angry, you know. I mean, I was angry at the thought, but I'm not gonna yell in this audio clip. I'm just expressing my feelings. So again, go back. So yeah, I read it and I was like angry. I was like, how can you allow somebody to beat you for 34 seconds? I don't care what type of skill they do. And I'm like, I guess for a moment, I adapted myself into this person's experience in this. And I had all kinds of thoughts racing through my mind. And I'm like, it's just humiliating. And all of it's all ego. It's all ego. It's all ego driven. Whether if you're the loser, you feel in a certain way, or whether you're holding that trophy up that you won and you're so proud and all that, you think you're the best person, you think you're the best of the best and all that, and over anybody. Yeah, I know it's all ego, no matter what side, win or lose. But I just want to express that I had thoughts. You see what I mean? You know, I was telling you about how the mind creates thought forms, right? You see, the thought forms, it created a small reality of myself as me being that woman. And I found myself like going after that person. Like I got up after I was knocked out, and I was literally went after that person. Like even after the fight, that's the feeling I had. I'm like, it's just that I can't go with the feeling that somebody humiliated me and I'm just going to have to accept that. No, you see, and I'm going to invite you into a dark feeling I have, everybody. You see, my thought is that I'm going to keep coming after you. And I'm going to basically bring you down. One way or another, you're going to go down. Even after the fight. That's the person on that side that I observe in that type of paradigm. That's the person I am on that. See, my thought forms created my reality, but you see, I had to gain control of it. I had to stop it right there. You know, I could go further, right? I could go all out and just create more and more of that reality, but I'm not. Sometimes when we create realities, you know, sometimes it may not be so obvious on the outside. A lot of it, we create a lot of realities from within. And I know I don't really express that from my previous part. But the thing is that, you see, everybody, you know, growing up in this, you know, and it has a lot to do with my intensity. My feeling has a lot to do with the, you know, growing up. One of my experience is child abuse. I've been child abused by somebody that's somebody's older than me, bigger. So whenever I see, you know, for a long time, I used to feel like whenever I feel like somebody's bigger, And this is a lot. Keep in mind, this is a lot to share. I normally don't share this with anybody I don't know. But anyway, when I see somebody bigger, I just get motivated to bring that person down. And it's not because I have wishful thinking. It's because for many years I just have the confidence that I can. You see, competition, and it depends on your background. If you have a certain background, let's say like anger or rage, yeah, that thing could go side. Those two ideas could go like, they could be like partners right there. Being competitive, aggressively competitive, and having rage, yeah, that's just. So whenever I hear somebody to have these abilities, do different abilities, I'm like, it doesn't bother me. I always felt that way. I felt that I don't care what the person could do. I don't care if the person is a professional boxer. For a long time, everybody, I look at it like this. You see, I look at other people like this is how I felt at the time. I look at somebody like they're just flesh, you know. I had a lot of deep, vicious thoughts to do something to somebody. It's like it's like the option of me losing, right? It's just not an option. It's like one way or another, you're going to go down by me. And that's just how I felt. So when I look at glimpses to go back with this mixed martial art fighting, when I look at that, I really can't honestly sit there and watch these things. It brings something out of me, like let's say, you know, and I tested myself actually. I think I should have said this in the beginning of this clip. I tested myself just to see where I'm at. I just don't prefer to follow these events. I mean, I hear about it. I mean, but very rare. It's just rare I actually look into. I guess it depends. This female fighter that won, she was dedicated to this wrestler that passed on. So I don't know. Somehow, don't know why they incorporated that into this event. But anyway, but yeah, got my interest for a second. And this mixed martial art thing, it brings a kind of energy. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a side of me that I just like to keep it like, let's just put it this way, I prefer a peace of mind. You know, I love joy, bliss, but a peace of mind, because you see, even all these emotions, okay, even rage, believe it or not, rage and anger, also that's part of consciousness. You see, because I am consciousness. You see, I could choose any emotions I want. Different emotions come with different things. And I just favor more just having a peaceful mind. Create and all that. I'm not so interested about dominating somebody. I'm not. But to go back, the mixed martial art fight, they gave details how this person went down. It really fueled me up. So yeah, I guess I tested myself. I'm like, yeah, it's just not my preference. You know, I just felt connected with that person in a sense that, and I felt angry at the person that lost like that. I never like anybody losing, being humiliated. People just talk about it like it's nothing. See, and that's the thing about competition. You see, I feel like competition, this win or loss thing, doesn't really do anything for the soul or the spirit. I mean, it's an experience. It's a choice that we all make. But you see, I look at things in the long run. What does it do? What does it do for you? You know, really, it's just put aside a trophy, these accolades, boasting how you defeated this person so easily. Just put aside of all that. How do you really feel? I mean, some people just naturally don't care. They just feel good about it. All right, that's cool. All I just feel like, I like to, you see, I used to I used to really worship trophies and stuff. And I'm not trying to make this as a religion, everybody. We could do whatever we want with consciousness. I'm always going to inspire everybody to, because I'm all about self-empowerment. I always going to inspire everybody to know, at least be aware that you're in full control and that everything you're doing, it's your choice, and that there's really nothing forcing you. There's no entity that's forcing you to do things. You do it yourself. It's your choice. So yeah, I am about self-empowerment. I'm going to inspire people to do things, or let's just say, because we all, no matter what you do, what I envision in everybody, everyone is bliss. I just want to inspire everyone, even myself, to just acknowledge that you are bliss and enjoy your blissful life. It's just that I feel that when I break the idea of competition down, it's very limited. It's very limited. And reason why I say it's limited because, it's like, because I won trophies, different games, not really fighting, different games. It gives you that feel-good feeling. But I was looking back on some pictures that I won trophies in some games and stuff, and I know a lot of people I don't think a lot of people see this, but I'm going to tell you what I've seen recently looking back in some photos. I was looking at my picture, I'm looking at, this person won like third place. I had my trophy was first place, right? Big trophy. The other person won his itty bitty trophy, third place. I'm like, and I look at these things in a different lens. I'm like, wow, that just sucks. I just felt bad for the person that won third place. Now, keep in mind, I won first place. Most people just wouldn't care about somebody winning third place. There'll be a politician say, oh yeah, they bring the best game. That's the thing with athletes. It's like when they have these interviews after the game, and every athlete's like politicians. I'm like, give me a break, please, be real. That's just how I feel. They'll say, yeah, I respect him or her. She got all the good stuff and all that, and we went out all. I what I say to myself? You're only saying that because you won. Now, let's just say if you was a loser, and how are you going to actually feel? You're going to have your head down, and you're going to say a few words, and you're going to go back in the locker room. So let's just cut the political statement and just be real, all right? Just be you, all right? But some athletes, some of them, they like to be professional, because if they do act so obnoxious and all that, we're going to basically ridicule them. Oh my God, look, such a sore winner, so arrogant, blah, blah, blah. It's just weird. The whole competition thing is just so freaking weird. But I'm just sorry. I have to point these things out about some athletes. I used to watch basketball, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like, it makes me wonder that is somebody giving these athletes cue cards in the background, because they just say things so scripted. Every single athlete, just about. Anyway. But the mixed martial art fight, honestly, it's a different energy. I don't know how anybody could sit there and watch this stuff like religiously. I don't know how. I can't watch that stuff. I rather not. It's just, I remember I had some people that lost contact. They suggested to me years ago to like, hey, why don't you just go, into boxing? Because I had a lot of aggression in me I needed to let out, right? So much. And I said to myself, and I said to people that I lost contact with, I said, I don't know if I want to be a boxer. And I explained why. I said, because I'm going to basically hurt somebody. Like, I'm going to basically break the rules. I'm going to basically do some dirty moves on somebody because I have so much to let out. And if somebody did win, I'm going to come after that person. Like, it's going to be like pro wrestling, seriously. Battle on and off the ring, seriously. I'd just rather not go boxing. It's just not, It's just not for me, honestly. The lifestyle and all that. It's just something that it's something I don't prefer, and it's my right. I could do whatever I want. So, but far as this emotion, this rage, this energy, I've been doing very well on it. Again, I'm not the same being that I was, like, for example, 1 or 2 years ago, after I rediscovered who I am. But yeah, competition, I want to continue on. Yeah, competition is really something. I mean, it's just, a lot of us, we really think that's just all there is to life. And it's like, when you decide to like open up spiritually, and that just go with the feeling that everything that you always wanted, it's like it's all around you. You just go with the feeling. I'm like, you don't have to fight for something or battle your way to the top. All the love, the feeling, just the love, the joy, all those things, it's like you really can't compete against that, really. But just go with the feeling, It's like, I just want to say, competition really, just do my best to express this carefully, because we feel like competition, think it brings the best out of us. And my take on it these days is that it really doesn't, because after everything that I said so far, I just want to say this. When you're competing against somebody, okay, you're really competing against yourself. Now, I just said that, and you're probably thinking, say, wait a minute, but let's say you playing a game and you defeated somebody. It's like, I'm not him or her. You are him or her. And honestly, there are no winners or losers. I mean, it's just, everything I'm saying doesn't make sense to the intellect mind. That's the thing about me. Everything I share online, on my recording, my audio clips, doesn't make sense to the mind. I do my best to be very loose. I'm not the type of being that I don't really care so much about structure. Life is just, my close friend of mine was saying, she reminds me to always think of vastness. I'm like, wow. When I think of vastness, it's just like, wow. It's just like, there's no limits. It's like, there's just no limit. I'm like, I care less about trophies. I care less about dominating somebody. I'm like, but I just want to say this. You see, every single person is source of life. It's like, think about it. Maybe I could just say this, and this might mess with your head a little bit. It's like you're dominating yourself, but you really can't. It's just weird. I'm like, the person is you, and you are that person, and that person is you. So it's just the thing about competition, and it doesn't really bring anything out of you. I mean, I feel that. And there's different levels of competition. There's levels like competition in business. I feel that if people collectively join together and it just basically bridge the infinite knowledge, the wisdom, and all those things, right? You bridge them together and you just build together, create together. You know what I mean? It's not about, I know sometimes I could go deeper with this competition. We all want recognition. We all want everybody to look at you. It's like, wow, you're the golden child. You're the winner. Wow, you're the best. But everybody is the best. Let's put it that way. But your intellect mind, the ego, that structured mind of yours, you see, because we program it to be a certain way. And now I just want to say this. The mind is part of consciousness. The mind is only mimicking because of the belief system that you've been following for so long. But again, like I said in my previous parts, that once you basically recondition your mind from within, everything from within, your mind will change into a different form. It's going to align with you perfectly into where you at spiritually. It does take work, but that doesn't mean that it's hard. You just gotta be consistent. Your mind, let me just put it this way. Your mind persistently try to suggest the same old stuff, like you feel like, man, why my mind keeps suggesting the same old negative stuff? It's because of the belief systems that you held on for so long. You gotta persistently think about something good about yourself. Like I said in my previous part, you gotta feed all the good things of yourself, all of it. But your mind's gonna constantly feed the opposite, okay? When you do it enough times, and I'm saying this because I'm telling you, I guarantee this works. I know it works. When you do it enough time, your mind is going to change into a different form. You probably won't even realize it. It'll just blend right into your spirit. I'm telling you, it's just, the mind is part of consciousness. I don't want to make it like it's some separate entity or some sort of villain and whatever, or it's like some sort of Satan character like these religion faith believes. No. The mind is you. It's just part of consciousness. It's just a different level of consciousness. That's all it is. But again, your mind can be changed into a different form, and the only one that make it happen is you, because ultimately, you are the one that's in control. Okay. No matter how hard, or no matter how convincing, or how compelling your mind will suggest, okay, you are ultimately in control, okay? So competition doesn't really do anything. I mean, relationships, we all know what competition does in relationships. What competition does in sports and business and all that. Because it's a lack mentality. You feel like there's not enough of anything. So, you think you climb on top, and you think you're the only one on top, and everybody else is in the bottom. But no, that's just the ego talk. But there's enough room for everybody. There is. Because why I'm saying this, because I'm just telling you that life is vast. Just think vastness. That's it. Or infinite, same thing. So I felt better doing this audio clip. I had my moment, like I was telling you about that mixed martial art fighting. I'm like, I mean, everything in life exists like that. Like that mixed martial art fighting thing. It exists. It's an experience. All these fighters, that's what they choose. They choose the winner, they choose the loser route. They like to be humiliated, or they like to be held up as victorious. That's just how things. That's like any sport and any other thing and anything in life. But I'm just here to say to everyone is that there is so much more to life than that. You see, you think that's the best thing. It's like, wow, But then, the funny thing is that you're gonna always find yourself competing. You're basically putting yourself in a circle. Even though it's an experience, you're always going to constantly worry that who's going to take your trophy away. You have to understand that's just how the competition thing works. You're competing against that relationship, for example. Okay, a little different in sports, but it has the same meat. The girl that you like, you're competing, right, against another guy. So let's just say the woman decided not to go out with you. And then you feel left out. You feel like a loser, right? But I'm like, I will tell somebody, and that's going through that's been rejected, right? Let's just say that experience. I'm just saying to myself, I said, I will say to anybody that you have to trust yourself, because you are God, your consciousness, your source of life. You gotta trust and I also describe this to your higher self, which is another name, God, source of life, consciousness. Okay. You gotta trust the God in you that your higher self has your back. Your higher self, which is you, okay, is gonna line you up with a person that's just what you prefer. You're gonna have to trust yourself. It's a little bit of the opposite of these religion faiths. A lot of religion faith will suggest that there's some outside God, and you gotta sit there and wait. Maybe one day something's gonna happen to you, something great, you know. So no. The thing is, the truth is, everybody, and you can take anything what I'm saying and leave it, okay? I'm gonna say the flat out truth. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been on the coin of some outside God blessing me, and I've been in the other side of the coin that I am God, and I bless myself and I give myself many grace. And you know what? I'm just gonna compare to this one. I gotta be honest with you. The side of the coin that I'm God and I give myself many grace, and the fact that I'm trusting my higher self, which is the God in me, it feels damn good. It feels so good. You see, I'm sorry to go off the topic a little bit, just a very brief example here. When I was thinking about some outside God, it's like, it suggests as some sort of separation. It's like, for example, it's like somebody from the top floor of the building is going to give you a nice check. You don't know when the person's going to give you a check, but you just have to have faith the person will give you a check. But the person that lives on the top floor, he's just somewhere. You don't know much. You don't know what he thinks. Whatever. It's just like it's like a blind. It's like a curtain. You don't know. You just sit there on the bottom floor waiting for that check to rain down on you. So yeah, it does feel like a separation. But when I understand the truth of life, and I understand that the source of life is within me, you see the difference? It's within me. There's no separation. There is no outside God. Okay, that's one day will bless you. No, it's me. I'm blessing myself. So to go back, I will tell somebody that you basically don't have to trust yourself. Spiritually, whether you believe in a God or not, regardless, you're gonna have to trust yourself, and it's gonna work out for you. You just have to trust and not be afraid. I can go as deep as I can, but yeah, competition, relationship, yeah, that, and this sports or that, always competing, making sure no one doesn't take that trophy away from you. Got to be consistent. And the thing is, it's so weird about the whole competition too, especially I want to talk about sports a little bit too, because obviously I'm into sports, but not as much as I used to. But anyway, yeah, it's just the drama and all that. It's all the drama with that. If you're people love you if you're the winner. People don't love you if you're the loser. Okay, people don't love you. But occasionally you have some fans still at the airport cheering for you. That's nice. That's really nice. But you're not happy. It's like, But I'll say this: if it's your highest joy to go through that experience, to be unhappy, to not feel like I didn't win, okay. I mean, it is an experience. Life is based on experience, But yeah, people love you when you're the winner, and people really don't want to talk much about you if you're not the winner. And then you got people that supposedly say that they support you because they love you because you're the winner, but then you got a good number of people just can't stand you. They'll start to criticize you. And that's what the whole paradigm of competition comes with on the sports side. It's amazing. It's just drama. I do like games. I like sports. I love sports. I love chess. I haven't played chess in a while, but I've been thinking about a new type of game, revolutionizing a type of game. And I'm going to share this with you, everybody. I thought about a game that this type of game, I think there's some games available like that. I can't think of a game, but I thought about this and I shared this with my friend of mine that I said, I love to build a game or sports that it involves people working together and building something. I don't know, something. I just gave like a generalized description of the game. It's like you're not competing. It's like everybody wins, let's just say, okay? Let's just put it that way. But everybody's working together. It's like one person, like I was saying early on a little bit, like, about the business part of competition. But let's say in a game, right? Everybody used the intelligence, all that, combine them, and boom, you build something. Just give an example, everybody. Maybe it could be a structure, a building, or a shape, or whatever it is. Solve something. I don't know, but it just doesn't have the competition. You're competing against someone. No, you're working side by side, because see, it's the understanding. Okay, it's the understanding that there is no separation. Okay, you could be your skin color could be the most darkest person in this world. Okay, and you meet somebody that's so pale, right? You and that person are one. You understand? There's really no separation. Let's say you don't like somebody, but you're competing against that person. You and that person are one. The structured mind doesn't like that because it suggests, these ideas suggest separation. But again, you have to be at a point spiritually. It's kind of like, you see, let me just go further. This is going to be pretty deep what I'm about to say. A lot of stuff that I say in my outlook, or the level of the spirit, just a different level of spirituality. You see, the stuff that I say is kind of like, for example, do you ever hear people have life after life experience? Okay, let's just say somebody said life after death, but there is no death, so I call it life after life. But for those that hear life after death, whatever. Okay, you ever hear somebody come back and they have a different perspective? Like they just don't think the same. Okay, a lot of stuff that I heard too is just like, it's just completely different. They don't look at life the same, because you know why? Because they got a glimpse. You see, their spirit, they got a glimpse of what life really is. Because those people that have the life after life experience, you see, their consciousness too, as well as the being that approached them when they have their out-of-body experience. See, a lot of stuff that I'm sharing to you, everybody, my perspective, is the same kind of perspective as if you basically have an out-of-body experience, and let's say you're in a, I don't call it heaven, but let's just say you're in a heaven-like type of experience. You're not going to think about competition. You're not going to think about, I got to dominate this person to get ahead. All that stuff is like, it's kind of laughable, but it's like you're going to have a different type of awareness. So a lot of stuff that I'm sharing to you, okay, is on that level. I'm sharing you in a level of basically on a different spiritual level. I want to say higher, but me and my friend of mine, we was talking about there is no higher, there is no lower. I don't know, debating about it, but anyway, there are different levels of consciousness, okay? So a lot of stuff that I'm sharing to you, again, is the type of same state, that same spiritual state, as if somebody had an out-of-body experience, okay, that don't look at structured life as a lot of us hold on to. Like, I see so many things around this world, I'm like, I don't let it get hold of me, because there's more to life than that. I mean, I'll just put it this way. You think that you're driving a nice sports car, okay? I did a clip on me driving a sports car, but let's just say that. You think that's the best thing in life? Nah, that's not even, you haven't scratched the surface yet. If you're gonna hold on to that idea about a sports car or having so much money, I mean, it's a great experience, don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is, everybody, there's a lot more to life than a lot of these physical possessions that we hold dear to our lives. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that these things are bad. All I'm trying to tell you is that there's a lot more to life than that. Believe me. So yeah, a lot of stuff that I'm sharing is it is in that spiritual level of basically you having a life after life experience. And that's it. I feel like that's why I feel that on the physical plane it seems like nobody gets what I'm saying, but I'm confident that you understand where I'm coming from, because you see, every one of us is consciousness. See, beneath your belief systems, let's say these limited belief systems, let's say you hold up, okay? They are limited belief systems. They are belief systems that's not going to serve you, but we take on certain belief systems, all for experience sake. So yeah, through all that and your upbringing, or let's say you hold on to this identity that you're white, you're black, you come from this country and da 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 da. Beneath all that stuff, you see your consciousness. And I'm very confident what I'm saying. I impacted you. In spirit, I impacted you. And that means a lot right there. I know I danced around this journal about competition, and I wanted to take you further deep, real deep as I can, into what competition does, and just a perspective of what life really is from a different spiritual state. So yeah, it's just, I just feel like, and again, it's like we all make decisions. It's not like you condemn. You pick a limited, you pick an idea that's very limited, but it doesn't mean you condemn. I'm like, again, I say life is vastness. Just think vastness. You could dive in and out and compete in all you want. Like me, I could go back and claim that I'm so competitive and da da da. I can do that. I could do whatever I want. But you see, I have awareness about what a lot of things does, what it comes with. It's just things comes with certain things, and that's just it. But that doesn't mean, it's like, you see, the thing is, it's not like you condemn. Again, there's nothing outside of you is condemning you. You are not condemning yourself. I mean, you do it. I mean, I advise, I inspire people, don't do that. It's like, that's not helpful. Don't be hard on yourself. But yeah. I mean, you're God. You every one of you. Whether for those that don't believe in God or whatever, that's fine. But I'm just saying that it's like, if you want to decide to play sports and stuff like that, go ahead. If you decide not to, okay, fine. If you want to compete against that relationship, go ahead, go for it. If you want to compete doing in your business, try to make sure you're number one on the billboard. Okay, you want to feel like you need to be, or you need to get that recognition. Okay, but in spite of all those things that I shared, that I shared to you, and all the options that we have options, everybody. In spite of all that, I'm still going to tell you there's a lot more to life than these things. Again, you could pick these choices. That's fine. So yeah, I really feel better doing this journal. I'm getting more and more comfortable doing my journals. I wasn't sure what I was going to express on the 10th part, but yeah, this competition, this mixed martial art thing, really, I said to myself early on, I said, I think this is gonna be the meat of my 10th part here, and that's what I did. Right now I'm recording this, so, and to inspire myself and everyone, this is my observation with just being human. This whole competition thing. I see people's emotions. They cry over things that they won, all that. I mean, it's a feeling. I just wanted to throw this out there to everybody that when you think vastness, you're gonna understand that, again, like I said earlier, you're not gonna have to fight or compete against any prize. It's just endless. The feeling that you won a prize, you see, if you times that by 20, actually there is no number, but the level of joy, and think about it. Nobody could take anything away from you. You don't have to compete. You don't have to do something to show that you're the best and everybody to connect with you and say, yes, you're number one. Yes, wow. You don't have to be held up for everyone to look at you, because it's like when you're in a certain state spiritually, okay, you're gonna know that you are connected. And that's just how it is. The level of joy is just unbelievable. So anyway, I think I express a lot on competition. I know I dance a lot here and there, but I'm pretty sure I always do my best to make things connect on my topics. So again, like in most of the end of my journal, I don't know what I'm going to express on the next one, but I'm pretty certain that I will do a part 11. So it's been a pleasure me expressing myself. I had to go deep into my feelings and stuff that I used to, things I used to hold up on competition and rage and all that stuff, and how those things can go side to side. Depends on the background, depends on the individual. But for me, yeah, I was just being open, everybody, and I had to demonstrate that how I'm able to control that within. You see, I allow my thought forms created that reality from within, and I just paused it, boom. I'm not gonna indulge myself into this reality. I could go there more and more, and it's gonna manifest on a physical plane once I start creating my reality from within. And I'm sorry I haven't explained this very well on my previous part, but yeah, once I create my reality within, it's gonna manifest. It's gonna manifest on the physical plane. But yeah, I took control of it, and that was it. And I just took the opportunity to record this clip and then share to you how I feel about this and competition. So I'm pretty certain that you're inspired, and as well as myself, I'm inspired, and it's been a pleasure to share. Okay, until then, I will be back for part 11. Take care.